Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Whole Being Healing Podcast. I'm Lisa Warner. I am the creator of and author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing and co-creator of Lisa and Maura's Magical Mystery School for Whole Being Healers.
And I'm Maura S. I am co-author with my husband Keith of the 7 Steps to Successful Relationships and many other things. And now co-creator with my beautiful soul sister Lisa of Whole Being Healing and our Magical Mystery School for Whole Being Healers. And we are very excited today to have returning and connecting with us again our beautiful friends, really more than friends, soul family as well. Brandi and Ryan, and we connected with them at the perfect time in the perfect way, and it has just been unfolding and going deeper in the most beautiful way where there's so much alignment between what they do and what we do and who they are and how they live and how they connect in the world. So yeah, thank you. Lisa's going to read your bio, but thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us again.
Absolutely. We're excited to be here.
So Brandi Durham and Ryan Tyther are co-architects of AERA, AERA, a living economic and governance framework devoted to restoring original authority, clarity, and responsibility in human life. Together, they design systems that help people step out of dependency and back into direct relationship with their own resources, record, and self-governance. As long-term builders grounded in integrity and real-world accountability, they create structures that hold, not just in theory, but in life. Welcome, you two.
Nice.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
right. That's so powerful.
I know it's a great bio. Thank you guys again for walking with us and experiencing this. It's not something you're just reading. And that's what I love is it's literally not something you're just reading. You have been experiencing the walk with us, so you have firsthand account. So we appreciate that you are here, that we are bearing witness to you and you're bearing witness to us in this walk with our Creator. And by default, we're all bearing witness to our Creator through each other.
Well said.
And this is
So
something
true.
that is so needed in the world because, when throughout my whole life, I always knew that there was something terribly amiss about how this world was structured, how it was set up. And I could never figure out, like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Like, everything is so dysfunctional. I'm not really sure how to fit in. And I ended up facing cancer because I was just so emotionally distraught and confused about why I was here and what I was supposed to do and how I was supposed to make my life work. And then once we connected with you guys, even though we had all, Maura and I had already done so much of our own self-healing, and we had already recognized, like, oh, okay, wait a second, we kind of see now what's going on with our bodies. Now we can heal our bodies, we understand. But then when we connected with you guys, it was just like, boom, wow, this is the missing piece. This is how we reclaim our authority. This is how we move through life with peace and ease and being ourselves.
Yeah, I completely agree because I was there with you. I was feeling that same way, and it brought up a lot of distortion in my field as well that was giving me health issues. But when we bring it back to simplicity, like taking back our authority, not just taking back our authority never left. It's more so recognizing our authority, recognizing it for what it is, and then how to actually express it in ways that keep us in peace and keep our field stable. Because we're constantly being groomed to outsource it, constantly being groomed to go against ourselves in every way. Like,
Mhm.
we're supposed to give all of ourselves to everything and everyone and not leave anything for ourselves whatsoever. Like, that's the kind of matrix we live in is don't tend to you, don't spend any time with you, don't have any standards for you, don't ensure your own well-being. Just do it for everything and everyone else. And that's how you're a good person.
Right?
More
Putting
focused.
yourself first is selfish. It's
Yeah.
narcissistic. Don't do that. Think about others.
Yeah.
Keep pouring from your
Right.
cup until it's empty, and then keep pouring.
Keep pouring. We still need you to pour.
Yeah.
There's still a drop in there. Oh, you just got some moisture back in that we need it.
Yep.
And we're not supposed to act like an authority on anything, but we're supposed to listen to the ones who are the authorities and everything they say, even though it doesn't match what they do, even though it doesn't make sense, even though it doesn't feel right. But yeah, no, it's good. It's perfect.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's
Throw
like we lose
yourself.
trust in ourselves and we have trust in people that don't feel like we should have trust in them.
And they don't have trust in their own selves, which is why they have to use the infrastructure that they use to animate it to have some kind of type of feeling of authority in their own life that they're using on the rest of us. And we have to get to a point where we say, okay, am I harming myself by putting myself in your hands? If you can't even manage your own field and your own life, and you're not expressing your own authority, then it seems pretty obvious that I'm going to be hurting myself by listening to you and following you. They tell us all the time as entrepreneurs, don't listen to people that have never done what you're doing. Okay, well then I
Mhm.
can't listen to anybody in the government.
You got
Right.
you got to look at the person or the system and what the type of fruit it bears. And is
Yeah.
it peace? Is it of sound mind? Is it bringing clarity? Is it amplifying? If it's not, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
Like that right there, just underlying issue. We need to figure what's going on.
Yeah, and they spend so much time micromanaging the chaos that they create.
Yep. Circular reasoning.
Right.
Well, circular definition
And
generates circular reasoning and circular actions, and no one ever goes forward with anything.
Yeah, let's say a little more about that because we know what that means. We've been like looking at it and sort of t taking it apart so that we see what's going on. So and I had just noticed recently that those same circular definitions that the legal system uses, the medical system uses them as well in diagnoses.
Yeah.
And so they're changeable. They're not fixed. It's like one time it could mean this, another time it could mean this, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they do. Like you said, they do that in the medical system with as far as symptoms go. How many times can you look up a supposed diagnosis and they all have the same symptoms? And you're like, well, then I have 20 different diseases right now.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, you had like the symptoms for like literally like 10 to 15 different, oh, you have this problem, this problem, this problem, this one. And it's like, well, which one is it?
Right?
and then you
And
have
how
to
can we
sift through.
possibly, oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, then you have to sift through all of it, and then you have to fill your field and fill your way through it, and it's just like a total mind warp to try and get through it all. Especially when you're listening to any of it whatsoever.
Yep.
Right. How can we possibly know that we do have authority over ourselves, that our bodies know how to heal themselves? How can we possibly even notice any of that when there's all these millions of diagnoses, millions of legal codes, millions of things telling us that we don't have that authority? So it's not necessarily easy for people to make that shift, right?
Yeah. Or to be aware of these things. Like for an example, I went in the beginning of the pregnancy, like my last pregnancy, I didn't have a scan. I didn't talk to a doctor. I didn't do a pregnancy test. Well, I tried, but it said no, and I knew better. But anyway, I didn't do any of those things. I just trusted my body, trusted my creator, all of this. Well, this one, I went to get one just simply because I wanted to know if what I already knew was true, that this was a girl. So we're sitting in there. Yes, we knew. We already knew this when we found out. It was just like, all right, confirmation. I didn't go there for diagnosis. I didn't go there for them to guide me and tell me anything. I went there so that I could like just get confirmation on my own self and what I already knew. And this is what we do all the time. We think that when we go there, we're getting tests done, we're doing all this stuff, but we have to ask ourselves when the test is ran and it gives us a result, and the test is ran on the surface level, mind you, not the root of where this
Hmm.
stuff is coming from.
Right.
And then we get all of this data in our mind's eye, and then it starts to impact what we see, how we feel, what we do, how we interact with our body, all of it. And it messes up and distorts our ability to feel our own field and let it guide us. So, like, even if I had the thought, because I was like, let me go check and make sure she's still down on, head down. And I was like, no, I don't want to even put the data in my head. I don't even want to do that because I know that it's going to happen how it's going to happen. If she comes out feet first, oh well. If she comes out head first, oh well. It is what it is. I'm not
Right.
I'm not going to go put all of these different things in my head that are going to make me act a certain way because that's what happens. We get it in our head and then by default it shifts our actions and
Mm.
we don't even notice that we're doing it
Yeah.
because
Mm.
this new data is there. And that's why it's so, people think that it's dangerous to listen to your biofilm. Well, it's actually dangerous to listen to all the data because you're putting all of that in front of what your biofilm is actually telling you, and it's muting and voiding out what the biofilm is saying.
Right.
She just
Absolutely. So
showed.
say
Oh,
more about the biofield because a lot of people have not ever heard of that term.
Okay. Do you want to say what you said you were going to say real quick?
it was the. She said she showed a video is what she just said. It was Kevin Spacey, and he's not like the most,
Yeah,
truthful, I would say, or what's the word I'm looking for?
integral or
Integral,
yeah.
I wouldn't say that, right? But he was speaking in front of a group of people talking about when accusations go out there that whatever people, even if it's a lie and you're a big enough name, that once a certain thing comes out and you're accused or you're being said this is what you are, this would happen to you, you would think that, once the truth came out, that everything would go back to
The
normal, right?
facts would
The
matter.
truth would come out, everything would change, and it would go back to normal. But he said in the
Mm.
world that once something comes out, even if it's
Yep.
not true and enough people hear it, you are forever tied to that lie, even if it's not real. And I was going to say when she was talking about what she was saying in the medical industry is you going to these doctors and the medical people in general, you're going to be hearing these lies that you now associate with. And when you hear it, even if you know what we know, it's still now an extra
It's a part
battle
of
you
your
have to go
field.
through to say, well, now I have to fight I have this syndrome, I have this disease.
Yeah, I
I have
got
to tell yourself in your own mind to reprogram what you just heard because your mind doesn't just go, oh, no, don't believe it, unless you've already practiced this enough and I've done it enough times. If someone's new coming into it and they're just hearing this type of information for the first time and then they go get a diagnosis, they now have to fight the old programming and all the other things that everyone's told them is true or enough people have said is true, even if it's completely wrong. And now they have to now reprogram themselves out of that knowing and say, no, this isn't. I don't have to accept what all these people say. So it's something in the human psyche where it's looking for
the subconscious mind just accepts things
well,
as what they hear,
yeah,
not knowing if it's fact or fiction.
it's trying to validate its own knowing through looking at the external world to create some sort of sense to itself so that if it doesn't have the knowledge and the human mind, if it doesn't have the knowledge, it needs to see something outside of it to paint pictures and different understandings from different perspectives to give it the understanding that it needs to know to be able to operate effectively. So it's all it's trying to do is when you don't know, you just want to go figure it out. And the world's conditioned to have people with accolades or professionalism or PhDs or MDs come in and say, well, we know what we're doing because we went to school for 8 years and paid 100 to almost $1 million in debt. So we know what we're talking about because of that. So
Oh yeah. Like for our field, the first thing that I hear more than anything is, "Are you a lawyer?" And I'm like, "Actually, yeah, the only one on the earth." That I know of right now. We want to get technically true and correct on this matter. I mean, we just looked at the circular definitions the other day, and what did we see when we found lawyer? That it's not, there is no physical being that's a lawyer. There's no fixed physical being that's an attorney. They are all entities and paper processes or roles in the paper kingdom. They have nothing to do with us. We're just performing and being the actors behind the veil. And this is the same thing happening in the medical system. So back to the question, Lisa, about the
biofield.
biofield, is there is this field around us and you can feel this field. Like you can literally feel it with your gut. You can feel it when you're walking around and you sense things or you hear things and you're like, I just saw somebody's face. They called me 2 minutes later. Like your field was telling you that they were thinking about you. Doesn't matter how far apart in the world that you are, you're entangled in that moment. It doesn't matter about the distance. When you feel that you shouldn't go down a certain path and you go down it anyway, and you're like, I should have trusted my instincts. It wasn't your instincts, it was your field. Your field was communicating the data around you that is constantly happening 24/7. And it's like the best supercomputer out there. Supercomputers that they make can't even come close to what this is capable of doing. And when it comes to computing data, but it is reading the entire field. And by field, you imagine like a grid around you or something like that. It's reading everything, every being, every thought, every feeling, like all of it that's happening 24/7 is trying to give you that data. This field goes out to a certain degree, but you can feel it infinitely through all time, space, and matter. So it doesn't matter what you're feeling, you can connect it to something. And people do exercises to play with their field. The chi energy. You see all these people that play with chi energy and they move things with their hands or they can speak telepathically. We do telepathic communication every day, all day in our house. He'll say something in his mind, I answer with my mouth, or vice versa. It just happens. Like that's just who we are innately, but they've hidden this from us.
Yeah.
They make it sound like it's fantasy.
Right.
Spirituality, like they use these terms because they don't have a form and function that our mind's eye can actually see. Because if I use a term like biofield, I say that, but I also try to give it the molecular form and function of the field around you and how the energy is flowing. So you have propulsion systems in the physical dimension that are happening in the biofield, and one goes through your heart and it propels you forward and backwards, and the other one goes from your crown all the way to your feet and it propels you up and down. And these two are happening. This great cross is happening inside of our bodies at all times, but they don't want us to know that. They don't want us to know that the ether is feeding us through our crown and can amplify us. They don't want us to know that Mother Earth is a great space to go and release energy into. Just as much as it can charge our body, we can go and get relief from all of the things that are heavy in our field and weighing us down. We can go stand on the earth and say, I release it into you, because what can Mama do? She can replenish and restore anything. So
Right.
she's already built to handle anything that's inside of our bodies, and we just go release that to her. They don't want us to know that we get blockages in our heart, not from the things that we're doing on the surface level, but from the things that we're doing to block ourselves from movement in the ether. We're blocking ourselves from that movement by not taking care of ourselves. The thoughts we're thinking, mainly the thoughts that we're thinking. Like if we can just get ourselves to a point where, say we have a supposed disease and we're just thinking about, it feels so good to never even have to hear that word again. It feels so good to live in this state where my body is working immaculately 24/7. It feels so good for my body to be brilliant and know exactly what to do. It feels so good that I'm so high vibrational in my actions, thoughts, feelings, emotions that nothing of dis-ease or distortion could even exist in my field. And feeling those things, emitting those out of our body into our field. And I love the background that you guys have,
I was
because
gonna say that.
it shows so much of the biofield itself and what's happening, because you can have one that's very clouded and very distorted, and then you can have one that is truly just vibrant and thriving with energy flowing through all of the different energy centers through the body. But all of this is very relevant because we have to get in tune with it so we can communicate with it and let it guide us instead of letting the external world guide us. So when people ask, like people talk to me about things, and I'm like, I don't use these eyes to see things. I don't use these ears to hear things. I went deaf and blind for a reason so that I could use, because every molecule has eyes and ears. They may not have a physical, layout that you can see, but it has the ability to hear sound, interpret sound, And it has in both ways, visually and through the ear, through hearing. So if you just disperse yourself into all the different trillions of molecules that you are, and I use this visual of close your eyes, turn yourself into a bunch of bubbles, turn the whole room you're into a bunch of bubbles, and then find the line of separation between the bubbles and, in the physical dimension. And there's not one. So if you turn yourself into that, and then you start moving your consciousness through these bubbles, you can start seeing and hearing through that field in ways that you never thought were possible, in ways that they never taught us, ways that they want hidden from us. They don't want us to remember these things, because then we stop being so malleable to their fictions when we can see through it. They don't want us there. They need us in fight or flight. They need us to always be in some kind of state of depression, some state of worry, some state of dis-ease. That's where they need us at, because if you're not in any of those states and your natural state is just peace, you see right through it. The whole world, everything in it becomes transparent.
Yeah, your emotions are like your superpower and also your super weakness.
They can be your kryptonite.
Yeah, and on top, like when you were talking about explaining the biofield, there's even schools that exist that are teaching kids how to tap into their sixth sense. Like they literally are like showing them how to feel your senses when you're blindfolded, and then you get color cards, and then they can tell you without even like, let me think, it might be yellow.
No, they
They're
know
like yellow,
instantly.
blue, red, green.
Yeah, they're not even
And
looking.
their eyes are closed. Like they're not, and they can just they using that field, and they're using parts like if they touch it, that color releases a frequency that tells your body that it's this feeling. So that
Yeah.
when you start programming, this feeling is purple, this feeling is blue, this feeling is yellow, you can even do that with people. So like you can be like, this feeling is chaos, this feeling is guilt, this feeling is fear, this feeling is resentment, or this feeling is bliss, this feeling is joy. You could start anchoring certain feelings, and you don't even need to feel like with your five senses to know what those are.
Yeah.
And it's all a part, like in the background you guys have, that's your bubble, that's your space. You're a big molecule walking around with its own energy. And everywhere we go, it's this,
And it's
and we're all
electromagnetic.
and we're even inside of this bigger molecule that has its frequency. So our molecules are in touch with the bigger molecule, and we're just literally trying to vibe our way to like a way to keep ourselves moving, alive, and growing, right? And the only way to do that is to amplify your field. How do you amplify your field? You give it the right nutrients, you give it the right emotions, you take care of yourself, you learn to navigate your intentions and use them appropriately. You be careful who you surround yourself with. It's little things that people in like scripture or just even mentors in life that aren't even talking about the subject. It's like the foundational rules that when you hear it, you're like, no, that resonates as true. When you apply all of that actively, that's how you amplify your field.
And not
Yeah.
just that, I was gonna say the way that they separate us in the physical dimension, this is why I always go back to the molecule, because if you're looking at what he was just saying, the little molecule inside the big molecule inside the big molecule, like the fractal version of that, then you realize that you're in tune with everything because you're the same as everything. But when you start looking at, well, I have a physical body and it's different than everything else, and you forget the molecular matter that you are that made up all these different things that have definition in the physical, then you start to disassociate with your own abilities and who you truly are. So it's so important that we always go back to we are molecular matter. And who created that molecular matter? Did the medical system do it? Did the legal system do it? None of these people did it, yet they all think they have authority over telling us what to do with our own field that we're supposed to be managing. Like that field, like you say behind each of you was your field, that's your field to manage. That's your real estate. Like they that's your real estate in the physical dimension. That's the estate you're supposed to be managing. That's where your ledger is at, that is calculating data and seeing what kind of health and well-being you're actually maintaining inside of that field at all times. And again, it's electromagnetic. So we think that we are pushing ourselves towards something, but really when we stabilize our field and become amplified in alignment with as above, we become the most magnetic force in the entire physical dimension. And every single thing that could ever want to be near us or was designed to be near us flocks to us. We don't even have to move to get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I love how you just brought up the ledger. We were going to talk more about that, about the etheric ledger, and I love, and Ryan, what you were saying is lines with that as well about all the things that you can do to amplify your field. And so there's things that amplify your field, and there's things that drain your field, right? And not even just your field, but it's affecting other people's fields as well. So, um, so I love the what you put up on your website. You actually have this etheric ledger. Um, what's it called? It's like a tool,
Calculator.
huh?
It's like a calculator. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I'd love to hear you talk about all the different pieces of that because there are so many pieces. That's what I love about that tool is that it's got, well, questions that you ask yourself about so many different aspects of your life. And this is definitely what I utilized and became aware of way back when I did my initial self-healing when I had a thyroid diagnosis and they wanted to basically do a treatment that would destroy my thyroid and have me on medication the rest of my life. And I innately knew that the body heals itself. And I knew because I'd heard other people, a few other people, not a lot were saying it back then, but there were some people who were. And I believed it. I felt it. I could feel the truth of it. Like, how could it not be true? The other stuff doesn't make any sense. So I did not do the treatment, but I also could tell that the way that I was living was not supporting me. And so I needed to look at pretty much every aspect of my life and create balance and to be able to amplify what I wanted in my life rather than, just draining myself and probably others too.
Yeah. Yes. So speaking of that, when I was eight, or no, I was 27 and I had just given birth to my third child, and they were telling me that my gallbladder needed to be removed. And I had no one around me that knew any different than listening to Western medicine. So it was always go to the doctor, listen to the doctor, take what the doctor said. So that's what I did. And I would ask the doctors and the nurses, what any of you ever had your gallbladder out? That what's it like? And they would all just praise this surgery. Every one of them. It's the best decision I ever made, blah, blah, blah. They talked me so smoothly into this decision back because I wasn't listening to my field at the time. I was listening to the external world. So I decided I was going to do it and I did it. And I started to have instant, like, regrets of doing it because of the things that I was experiencing from day one. Like the moment I left the hospital, I was having these alerts in my body saying, no, 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 that was the wrong way to go. And so,
Can't imagine why that would be. I mean,
yeah,
it's not a
yeah,
body part you need or anything. Like,
yeah. It's
why
it's
would,
there for no reason.
great
You know,
yeah,
the
one.
medical
He made a mistake.
the medical system has,
right.
specific body parts that are just there. That's what they tell you. They're don't worry about
You
it.
don't need a spleen.
Yeah. So anyway, 10 years later, you would think that after 10 years that if it wasn't there, that it would have destroyed my pancreas, my liver, all the other things that were having to work overtime to be it because of its absence. And then I had a blood work done and I found out that they're in immaculate condition. And how do you think that's possible though, right? Because if I was in a constant state of drain, constantly connecting my biofield to the so below so that it could suck the life out of me, then sure, all of that would have been completely drained and many other organs would have been ready to fail on me. But instead, everything is in a pristine condition like nothing ever happened. Why? Because I kept maintaining my field through my ledger. I kept connecting myself to the as above. I kept creating stability inside my mind, inside my heart, inside my soul, inside my essence, and my body, all of that. And so the ledger is literally it's real-time accounting. Like we are currency. So if we take they literally took this format and turned it into banking with external things. And so if we're the currency instead of the fiat money, so we're the currency, and now we have a ledger that's being maintained in credit or debt at all times. And our actions are what are dictating this ledger and what state it's in and what we are opening ourselves up to, the as above or the so below. If we tap in with all of our choices, thoughts, feeling, all actions whatsoever, whatever you want to call them, to the as above, we're constantly in a state of credit. We're being filled from our crown. It's like having that empty cup we were talking about. This is a full cup. This is a full cup of eternal water. And it is pouring straight through our crown and flourishing and flowing and nourishing every part of our vessel, every part of our biofield, making the water more stable. When it's more stable, it's more clear. You can see where you're going. You have more clarity. Now, if we're doing the opposite and we're connecting our biofield and our body to the so below, it can't fill us up. That's not filling up, doesn't go this way, it goes this way. So it's constantly pulling what little we have, and we've disconnected ourselves from here. So it's not being replenished, it's not being nourished whatsoever. And the water becomes mucky and cloudy. It's like still water. It's the difference between a river that is running through rocks and it's constantly being mineralized and filtered and all of that. And then you have the still water that you're like, I should not be drinking that. I should not even be touching that with my toe. Like, and yet my entire biofield and I'm made of water, majority, the entire existence, just different densities of water that we are experiencing. So if I am inside of that mucky water, how am I seeing where I'm going? How am I able to be aware of the things that are happening? How am I able to feel what's happening if all of my feeling receptors are being sucked right out of my feet into the so below? And so the ledger is important because we get to have an actual way to look at what we're doing to ourselves every day. It's not just this foo-foo, we're just talking about nonsense. We literally have trackable data that we can look at and say, okay, I ate this today. It made my field, my body, everything feel vibrant, alive, full of energy. That's a positive credit in the etheric ledger. I ate this. It made me feel drained. I wanted to go to sleep instantly. It just drained all the energy out of my body. I had stomach pain. Excuse me. I like all these things were happening. That's a debt in the etheric ledger. It's telling you very clearly by how you feel after you do something. I went with this person and I didn't feel right about it. Something was off, but I went with it anyway. Your etheric ledger is telling you you're adding debt. You're adding debt. You turn around.
Right.
I was in full alignment with these people and I just felt the call and I answered it. And it's just been glorious every step of the way. The credit. I took care of my body in this way. Instead of going and listening to the external world, I went, really studied the nature around me and how it was built, because there is no way that anyone in this physical dimension will ever get me to believe this big lie that our creator did not already think of all of our stupidity, all of our manipulation, all of our corruption, all of these things that would happen naturally, not naturally, but that would happen. And he didn't already make a cure for every single thing that the lab could ever make to give us. There is not one thing that they could ever come up with that he doesn't have a cure for already in nature. Not one. So therefore, if I'm going to nature already has every little fiber of the Fibonacci codes and the sequences and, the amplification that is going to get us back in touch with the Garden of Eden. We're eating the fruit of the garden in that way, and we're helping heal anything. It's all of that is happening 24/7. It's a matter of, are we listening? Are we listening to what we're feeling? Are we listening to what we're hearing inside of us? Because people think that talking to yourself is a bad thing, but your field is literally talking to you. It's using your own voice to talk to you. And so when you're having a conversation with yourself, it's actually very beneficial for yourself to have that conversation. And we need to be having more conversations with ourselves over constantly exerting ourselves out here into the external world and to everybody else and never listening here. And being able to say, okay, these are these things that if I put these boundaries around myself, because boundaries aren't for other people, they're for ourselves. So if I put these boundaries around myself that are going to help me, because I know what my weaknesses are, my kryptonites, my self-sabotage. So I'm going to put these boundaries up so that I don't cross these boundaries myself and harm myself. I'm adding credit to the ledger. If I have these standards of operation and how I'm going to operate, that I know for sure if I operate this way, it's going to keep me in peace. It's going to keep people from draining me. It's going to keep me from draining myself. All those things. I'm adding credit. I'm connecting to the as above. So that's the etheric ledger and how it works. And there's so many ways that you can feel your way through this and different aspects. Like you said on the website, I went into many different parts of the field so that people could start getting an idea of what parts of the field to even look at. Like another one, trespass. Have you trespassed someone today?
Mm.
Do you even know what it means to trespass someone? If you're going into their field and telling them what their field feels or what direction they should go or what they should be thinking or what they should be doing at any time whatsoever, you're trespassing their field. You're asking them to mute what they feel inside that their field only knows and calculates is right for them so that they can neglect themselves to listen to you. And your field is only talking to you. So again, that goes back to the ledger too, because the moment that you start to listen externally instead of internally, debt in the ledger. The moment that you allow everybody to trespass you instead of holding those boundaries for yourself and standards of how you're going to operate that don't let them trespass you, debt in the ledger. So anyway, I hope that made sense.
That's really an advanced level of relationship work as well. You know, when Keith and I wrote the first relationship book, we really focused on your relationship with yourself. And yes, your relationships with other people are really important too, but they're all going to be a reflection of your
Yeah.
relationship with yourself. And, I'm saying it's an advanced level of relationship work. It's only advanced because we have basically not been, I don't know, responsible. It has not been something where each of us taking responsibility for ourselves and understanding what a trespass would be on someone else and being willing to look at that and admit it if we do it. And when we don't, it's affecting the ledger, whether we know it or not. It's
Mhm.
happening, and then it's affecting our field, and it's affecting our life, and it's affecting other people. Good stuff.
Totally.
It's,
It's
it's yeah, it's the 0 point
yeah.
of what the 0 point of where it starts, and then everything expands out of there.
Yeah, you're the most valuable asset you can be. Like if you can't take care of yourself, you're literally neglecting the whole world by default. If you can't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. Like it literally comes back to being selfish, but it's not with the intention of screwing everybody else. It's like I'm gonna focus on me for you, and I want you to
Yeah,
focus on you for me.
yeah,
Like that's how we're gonna take care of each other. Not I'm gonna go out of my way to make sure you're taken care of so that you don't know how to do it for yourself. I'm gonna just do it for you so that if I'm gone, something goes wrong. No, I want you to take care of you for me so you give me peace of mind that I know you're gonna do what you need to do.
yeah.
And I'm gonna do the same for you because giving each other peace of mind by taking care of each other, of ourselves.
And that amplifies the collective field.
Yeah.
That adds the credit to the collective field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was actually a process that was in our relationship book that I could not do in my previous relationship before I met Keith. And someone had suggested to me, and it was about listening to each other without interrupting. I could not do it. And I was just like, wow, why can I not do this? And I could tell that it was really important. And
Yeah.
so we came up with a process of asking the right questions of each other. That's what I was just talking about before we got before we
Yeah.
started recording
That's so
today.
fun.
And yeah, so it's really amazing the difference it makes when we can recognize these things and be willing to be the one who makes the difference in ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we've gotten confused about take what it means to take care of ourselves or to take care of somebody else. We've got it like flipped around
There's
backwards.
there's one thing she was talking about with like going to nature, and it just reminded me, is so the human psyche is very prone to being subliminally programmed, and even not even just like seeing people and like actions, but like even in like certain shapes. So like when you were saying when you go out to nature, you see spirals everywhere. And that reminded me that the reason why nature heals is because by default of it existing, it's emitting this base frequency of like a 432 hertz of like a healing frequency, but then it also by just looking at it, you're getting all of these shapes that are not straight lines, but are imperfect, but are beautiful in their imperfectness. And what that does when you see that, it literally brings like peace of mind. So like an example would be if you're sitting at a campfire, everyone can just sit there and stare at the fire. We don't have to look at each other and have a conversation. We can be all staring at the fire, even in silence, and it feels good. Why? Because when the fire is sparking up and the flames are coming off the tip, like a hairdo or something, those spirals are actually Fibonacci spirals. They're all little Fibonacci spirals. So you just literally sit there staring at a healing geometric pattern, and it calms our nervous system by just looking at a geometric pattern constantly flaring up in different areas. So it's like even with trees, with birds, it's like they all sing. Like when the birds wake up in the morning and they start chirping, that literally is like a domino effect that starts waking up the plants. And the plants wake up, and they all operate. If you put like a register, you can actually hook up like a certain system to a plant or a sunflower, and it's emitting its own frequency. So like that, it becomes a domino effect of activating the whole field when everything wakes up. Why you need the sun, right? It's light, photons, active photosynthesis is like a whole process. So literally just being in nature, the act of observing it and doing nothing but just looking at it is literally healing you.
And this is why they want everything to be 90-degree angles, straight lines, no no actual flow.
Wisdom is here.
Go ahead. No, he came in, so we're having a moment.
He actually walked out when we were
Yeah.
talking about the ledgers.
Yeah. So anyway, they get us into all this. Why I won't have a house that they've already built. When everybody's coming to me about the legal stuff and how do I, my house and this, and I'm like, I don't have the same problems you guys do because I have no desire to have that house that you're talking about that you want to keep because I want mine to flow naturally and have natural Fibonacci through nature spiraling through it and have the energy flowing through it the way that it's supposed to be and not be like shoved into a framework that is so rigid that is not natural whatsoever. There is not even a tree has a straight line on it. Like there is nothing out there in nature that is just a straight line. You know what I mean? Like, so that alone is healing us, and they want us disconnected from that. They want us to stay in our little grid boxes.
Concrete jungle.
Yeah, and they don't want us connecting with the birds and the sounds and the trees and the waves and all these things that just naturally heal and calm our nervous system because they were literally designed to go in tune with our nervous system. And I know that that's also, if we go to the vagus nerve, that's part of the interface of communicating with the biofield, communicating with the creator, communicating with the nature, helping us to stabilize and calm. So anyway.
Right. And that our fields are electromagnetic. Thoughts are electrical, emotions are magnetic. And then they have created this entire electrical grid across the face of the earth with all of these wires, all of these things that usurp nature. They completely disrupt nature. They're not for our benefit. They're not giving us power. They're literally draining power from Mother Earth and from our own biofields through all of this false structure.
Yes.
Artificial. It's like they're trying to mimic source.
Yep.
They're creating their own variation of it.
But they're using us all as batteries through this that you're talking
We
about.
give it life. Yeah.
They are disrupting the circadian rhythm. They're disrupting every single fiber of our biofield that's connecting to our garden, our true home, and trying to act like all these other things are important when none of them are. None of them are. The most peaceful place I've ever been is when I didn't have a TV and I wasn't listening to anything, 5 years of just silence and nature. We want to talk about a nervous system reset? And I was on the side of an island by the beach, so it was just amazing.
Our healthiest was when we were literally
I thrive
in an island.
I thrive on islands.
We lived in Puerto Rico for almost, about 2 years. We were flourishing like that. We were always out in the sun. We were on the beach all the time because it was right down the street.
You
And
come back to the States,
constant
you
weather.
can feel
There's a literal disconnect when you come back into a place, essentially in the first world, and you see how things operate. It's not the same. People aren't connected the same way. People aren't happier. They're more distracted and they are more full of stress and cortisol because they're trying to meet quotas. They're trying to fit in. They're trying to meet the social
well,
norms.
that's how
Puerto Rico, they don't. I would say Puerto Rico, but any island, honestly, dude, they're just vibing.
That's how
They're
they
having
get
a
the
good time.
diseases in there.
Yeah, it's how they
The
get the disease.
distraction is what allows the disease to come in. The distraction is what allows us to not use our authority. The distraction is what allows us to not notice ourselves and take back the reins of the ways that we're giving it out. Because, like I said at the beginning, it's not that we don't have authority, it's that we're handing it to everybody else. Like people come to the page, and the first test for our page specifically, my first test of your ability to stand in your own self-authority is, can you find my link tree? It's at the top of the page. Can you find my link tree without having to have me duffel bag drag you to the information? Can you get there on your own? Because the first thing I'm going to do when I go to somebody's page and I like what they're talking about is, all right, let me find all their data. Where's everything that they have? Let me go listen to all this stuff. Let me not go ask them a million questions that I have not gone and done anything or taken any initiative about. So we literally use the platform as another way for you to see if you're standing in your authority or not. Do you have the capacity to self-govern? Are you going to go look at the information? Are you going to do the due diligence? Are you, like we were talking about before, in another show, was giving away our authority every day to the medical establishment, handing it to them and saying, you know better than I do. I trust in you more than I trust in me. That's handing out our authority. Doing the same thing with the school system. I trust you to raise my kids better than I can. I'm not prepared for that. What do you mean you're not prepared for that? You're not prepared to program them like they're trying to program them. You're right about that, but you are very prepared to guide them in the physical dimension. So you reel that authority back in, take your kids out of that system. You reel your authority back in, take yourself out of the hands of the medical establishment. You reel yourself back in, you stop trusting in the pharmaceutical lab created bullshit to be more powerful than the stuff that your creator made. And you go towards what your creator made instead, knowing that if he put you on the path, he's going to provide a way, and he's going to lead you directly to the thing that's going to heal you. And what you're going to find at the end of that path is that it was right here the whole time.
Yeah. The whole
Yeah.
system is literally designed to make it convenient for you to not use your authority. Don't worry about taking care of your kids. We'll do it for you. Don't worry about making your own food.
Convenience.
We'll give you the grocery store. Don't worry about healing yourself. We'll give you a pill. That's literally just like, don't do anything for you. We will take care of it.
We're your
So
saviors.
like this is where people go through withdrawal when they get told about the stuff we're talking about. Because what do you mean I gotta get rid of this convenience? You mean I gotta do it on my own? That's how you were created. Was any of this stuff here day one? No, that means someone figured it out how to do it. It's kind of like they had it like programmed into them to know what to do. Like, what makes you different? Well, I'm this way. I have this problem and this problem, and then they start listing off the symptoms of the world that were told to them when growing up. It's literally just when you step into this knowing, you will have to let go of certain ideologies
And
and
take
certain
over
conveniences,
certain-
and you have to take over.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be easy. It's like you're coming off a drug, man. You're coming off of
Right.
a very addicting, everyone else is doing it drug. And saying that you have to go back to your roots, but that means disconnecting who you think you are to who you're supposed to. And that process is not like an overnight, yep, I'm there. It's a gradual like
And
dissemination of your old self to metamorphosizing you to your new self. Like that's not a pretty process. I mean, even butterflies, when they're in the cocoon, like they're literally breaking themselves down into cellular matter and then rebuilding their whole entire body. Like, I don't know how the pain is in that area, but I'm pretty sure it's not clean. It's not messy. That's why it's contained. Otherwise, it'd be all over the place. It's spewing and nobody lives. So it's literally like, I need to go in this container, fix myself, and then when I'm ready, like, let's go. But that takes an act of faith. That takes you have to have a certain knowing, like the things that we're talking about. Like once you fully know, like this, have a understand or base of what we're talking about, you can start experimenting that faith by just doing it in little things that aren't so grandeur to changing your life instantaneously. Like maybe change what you eat.
it could
See
be
how you feel. Maybe just change what you listen to every day. Like little things that aren't massive, but just so little that you start noticing tiny differences that help you make the conclusion that the big difference is probably going to be better, not just constant, just tiny, tiny ones.
Yeah, or like I know that every time I go to the store, there's going to be the most perfect parking spot for me just waiting on me. Somebody's going to instantly pull out or move out of my way and then make way for me.
Program your reality.
Really do that test. Just like start telling yourself that and know it. That's the part though. You got to know it because if you just half know it and you doubt it, as soon as you say it, you're doubting it, you canceled it out already and it's not going to happen. But once you see those little tiny things happening every day of everything's working out for me, then it gives you that conviction to stand and command more of things happening for you.
Yep.
The green one?
Absolutely.
Yep.
People don't really understand about commanding energy. They know about demanding things.
Yeah, and being commanded.
Right? Exactly. They don't understand the inner authority that comes with the ability to command your reality. And it's not about demanding anything, but it's about being in your own essence and maintaining that biofield like you're talking about.
Lisa, I would even attest that demanding is the lack of commanding. Like you're doing the opposite to yourself.
Right?
Sounds like demeanor,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
lowering,
Anything
descending.
depressing, like when you're weighing yourself down, you're literally depressing yourself. You're pressing yourself down and then wonder why you feel so much weight, why your mind can't rest, why you're going through all these emotions and feelings.
Is there any word that's actually like a positive that starts with like D?
I haven't heard one.
Like D something. And I don't know any word.
Yeah, I've
I'm
been
so
noticing that a lot of the words, the spelling, the spells that have been cast through these words, there are a lot of words we use that are the opposite because they have the D or un or
Yeah.
anti or something in front of it so that it flips it around, but then the focus is on that word. So if it's a word of something you don't want, then even though you've got that other thing in front of it, you're still focusing on that thing you don't want.
Yep.
So I've been looking whenever I've been noticing those words more and more, and when I do, I say, what's a different word for that? One of the ones that's just coming to me now is unconditional love. I mean, that's been a big thing in spiritual movements, and oh, it's wonderful. Unconditional love. That means real love. Well, what's it focused on? Conditional, right? Condi is the love conditional? Well, what's love that isn't conditional? It's pure love. It's real love. It's just love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just love.
the reality of the word love.
Yeah.
That's just a way to get people to frame a different variation of the word love, even though that's where the system has really messed things up, is that we have to take something that's pure and we have to add like an adjective to describe the purity of something. It's a bad adjective or a good adjective. It can't just mean what it means. Man had to put a illusion around it to create variations of the truth. And they're like, no, the truth means if it means bad this way and this way and this way. It's like, why can't it just mean just what it means?
Yes, and that's the reason that it can't mean what it means is because if it meant what it meant, then everybody would know what it meant, and then
That's
nobody would
simple.
fall prey to it.
Too simple. Too simple.
Yeah, so they need it to, like we've been going over in the videos, and you see, they need those circles there. They need there to be no solid foundation there. And so if there's no solid foundation, and to take it into the legal system for just a second, if there's no solid foundation for the communication, then what is there to defend myself about? I just need to know, like in that moment, okay, you're not telling me, you're literally not telling me anything. You're not giving me a source of what you're talking about. So how can I respond to that? How can I defend that? How can I do anything with that? So we need to establish that first. What are we talking about here?
Mhm.
And that's why it's so crucial when we're speaking our lives into existence as well, to have that form and that function, that clarity in what we're saying, because otherwise we're just literally legalizing our biofield, giving it circular definitions on it could mean anything. It's like we were watching Aladdin the other night, and he was like, "Make me a prince," and the genie's like, "There's a lot of gray area in make me a prince. I could make you that prince over there," and he's like, "No, no, no, not that one."
Yeah, you'd be up with that dude for the rest of your life. So the what is it? The deal is in the
details. Yeah.
You gotta be specific with your words. You can't leave any open-endedness to make people assume what you mean.
We were laughing so hard because we haven't watched Aladdin in a while.
I'm actually about to post a video.
And so when we were watching that, we're like, if mankind knew the nuggets that were just left in this movie for them when it came to their authority, being clear in their spoken word, all of that, just in those few sentences that were spoke, and it just misses most people because they don't know the things in the depths that we're talking about right now that are crucial to know. That's why I feel so called to just hand out the university, because we need a solid foundation of this means this.
Yeah, we can't.
This is what we're saying when we say this, because otherwise we're all sitting here communicating and we're spending so much extra exertion of our own energy trying to just translate what's coming out of our mouth so that somebody else can comprehend us.
Right? Because what you're teaching and what we're teaching are so simple, but what we're having to undo are the things that are so complicated, and they don't actually work. So it feels hard at first. It feels like, how do I do this? It's actually really simple, and once you can untangle from the complexity, from the complicated, from the distortion, then it's like,
yeah. Maura, what you wrote the other day, I was like so happy that you wrote that, because it shows you that it doesn't matter if it's the medical system, the legal system, your identity with yourself, whatever it is, you're animating it. You're using your authority to animate whatever it is that the world has told you and bring that into your field and make it who you are, whether that's who you are or not. But that, again, they give us this mirror, and I was listening to one of our old classes the other day, and I was in the old class, I was talking about how they put a mirror because people will be like, I don't fit in, I don't feel right, all this stuff. Well, how do you expect to feel if they're putting a mirror in front of you that's not even your own reflection? And you're looking at this completely different being than who you are 24/7, but you have self-identified with it for so long. You can't tell, but you can feel that it's not you. And so you're like, I feel out of place. I don't belong here. You don't belong in that mirror image of you because that's not you. So when we're doing these processes and healing and coming back to authority, it really requires us shedding all of the false identities that we've picked up, all the false belief systems we've picked up, all the culture that has been passed down, all the history that's been passed down, all these things that we don't realize have really screwed us up inside of ourselves and taken us away from that center of knowing of who we truly are. So when people ask me, well, what do you think about this that happened back in 18, blah, blah, blah? I don't care what happened. I don't care what happened because I can't touch it right now. I can't experience it right now. I can't validate it right now. I can't do anything with it right now. So how does that help me ensure that I'm staying in alignment with myself and my field at all times? I don't need all this excess information that everyone is trying to give me. And you guys know our stuff is blowing up right now. Imagine how many messages and people are trying to look at this, tell me about this. I'm not doing it.
Pull you away.
Isn't it funny when you're teaching something so real and people just want to bring in all these other things? They think they're going to impress you with it. I don't know what they're thinking.
No, a lot of it is trying to pull me back out of my center, back into the surface level with them. And I'm like, I'm not going to the surface. I'm staying steadfast right here where I'm at, where I'm supposed to be. You can come to me or we cannot do this at all. That's just where I stand with this, because I see what you're trying to say, and I get your intention, and I get, the programming. I've already been where you are. I've had to dismantle all of this inside of myself. So why do I want to take myself back to a place that distorted my field previously when I'm trying to get you to see beyond that, deeper than
Right.
that?
And also, one of the things that we guide our students with is if they want to put something in our chat during our course that's, some other teaching, some other so-called wisdom, whatever it is, it's like, we don't want that in here. We want yours. We want to know what your experience is of what we're teaching and learning together
Mhm.
here, of your connection to your own body and your biofield and your creator. And that's what we want in this space. And
Yeah.
so just like with you, what you're teaching, is look, I'm offering you like a ton of support in you standing in your authority. I want to hear what's that like for you right now. Don't give me somebody else's version. What's yours, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's your story?
They bring me, a lot of times people will bring me a notice or some kind of affidavit or something that's been written. And guys, I literally can't make it past the first two sentences most times when I'm reading these documents. Not because I want to just tune it out. It's just that I already hear the blurry lines. I already hear the lack of authority. I already hear the outsourcing of authority to the legal system, putting it in there. Like the first thing is, I attest under the penalty of perjury. Under penalty of who are you giving authority to perjure you? Like,
Or
like
penalize you.
yeah. I mean, instantly, I'm standing in my authority, but I'm telling you that if I don't say something the way you want me to say it, that you can penalize me. What? You know?
It's literally a battle, subliminal battle between people who know the creator and people who don't know the creator to
Yeah.
the full totality of what we're talking about.
Yes.
Because if they don't, even in the religious text, the religious sense, they're still like trusting the legal system.
They're still
Even
trusting the
the
religion.
churches, like churches, they file 501(c)(3)s. That's in the legal system, so that they don't have to file taxes because they still believe in taxes, because they still believe in the system. So you're not, even that shows a lack of real
True
creator,
faith.
true
Yeah.
faith in creator. So it's just that's the battle. It's, do you really know your creator and all the aspects of how it works within your body, outside your body? Do you know quantum mechanics? Do you understand what happens when you look at things like that? Knowing, and if they don't, it's really hard to have a conversation. That's why it's like
I
adding
wanted to put a PSA at the top of the page. If you don't have basic understanding or understanding of this, then we're just not going to be able to have
like, I want to be like, if you don't know the double slit experiment is, if you don't know what a placebo effect is, if you don't know entanglement, like if you don't know like certain, I don't, it's not basic stuff because they don't teach us. You have to go out of your way to look for it. But it's like, if you don't know these underlying principles of how consciousness works, we can't talk to you because you will not know where we're coming from. And
And
you will always find something in your perspective to battle something you don't understand.
but it's all coming from an external worldview.
Yeah.
It's not coming from a walked experience.
Yep.
Right.
Because when you walk the experience, you don't even have to go out of your way to find all this information he's
Yeah.
talking about. It just naturally
It comes to you.
becomes known.
That's how I
Right? Or it gets dropped right into your
Yeah.
consciousness.
And then you don't even
Like,
know
how
what
did
it's
I know
called.
that?
Like people will be like, "Do you know this?" And I'll have to go look it up, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I know what that is, but I didn't know that's what they called it."
Yep.
It's so funny because I talk about quantum physics now, and it's all the same thing. The creator, quantum physics, the source, all
Ether.
the ether, it's all the same. And it's just the study of creative source. When I was in high school, I got a C in physics, not because I wasn't interested, it's because I kept falling asleep. Like everything kept shutting me down. It was right after lunch and I had garbage food and my body would just go, like I can't stay awake because I didn't give myself good nutrition. So I barely passed it and never really cared to look further into it. It was only until back in like 2012 I started getting into personal development, and I had sports, so I had a mentality of like pursuing bettering myself. And then once you have that type of mentality of growing your mind, you inevitably fall into finding creator because there's going to be a limit. If you don't go to creator, you will hit a plateau every time. There's no, oh, there's exceeding. Like creator is the highest that you can get to. Like there, and if you
And the
haven't touched it,
deepest.
you're not there. Yeah, it's the highest and the deepest. So it's like that's, I didn't go out of my way like when I was a kid, like, oh, I want to be a quantum physicist or I want to know understand creator. No, I wanted to play sports, go to college, drink, party, have fun. that was what I wanted to do because that's all everyone else around me was doing. And it's all everyone talked about. And it was, what job do you want to be? I want to be a cop because my dad was a cop. And everyone looked up to me because I was one of the tallest people in the family, biggest overall. And they all had this like unsubliminal programming, like, he's going to be successful. So I had this like internal duty that I gotta be the guy for the family. So I just started doing things, like holding myself to higher standard. People ask me all the time, "Are you in the military?" I'm like, "No." Like all the time, I get asked all the time because the way you talk, like your demeanor, how you approach, how you handle conversations. Like if you're not military, you're easily an athlete, like something in that regard. So it's when you start taking the steps and you just kind of just want to grow yourself, you'll inevitably get on this path, and then yeah, like
Like
you'll
you
have,
said.
yeah, you'll find the right people, you'll find the right knowings, and you'll come to the conclusion of what you're supposed to do with your life.
And the majority, like you guys know the way that I define things, and you know that I don't go out into the world to get my definitions. I literally pull them straight from here to find the form and function. So when everybody's coming onto our post and they're like, "You meant this." Really? Are you sure I meant that? Or this is how it's actually defined. And I'm like, I get that's how the world defined it for you, but you can't find form and function in that definition. So have fun with that circular shit. I'm going to stay over here.
Yep. Yeah, that was a challenge when I was proofreading some of those documents because um, fortunately, I've spent years with Keith in a book publishing company where we actually trained our editors not to be brilliant, not to change the words of the author. Just, if you need to change punctuation or do something simple to make it say what they actually, to make it clear what they actually mean, but don't change the words.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I gotta really look at this. It's like, what is she saying? And in order to do that, it's not using that part of your brain. It's more like going into your heart. It's more like just really sinking into that connection to source and feeling it, right?
Yep.
Yep. And that takes time. That takes training. That takes willingness and
Training is experience.
training. Yeah, training and experience.
I'm studying.
No, training like it's taking leaps of faith and just knowing that everything's going to work out. There's no easy way. There's no beginner's guide. It's just you just got to start and you just got to learn how the ropes work. You can learn how all this stuff works in quantum physics and creator, but it won't be useful to you until you actually implement it and see how it unfolds.
Yeah.
So take whatever you can learn based off of from people like us, from people like you, and like really get an understanding of how your body works, how your authority operates within the system, how creator works in your life, and then from there, act on it. And then the only other secret is consistency. So act and stay consistent with it. You'll get results every time. Something will work out. It's inevitable.
Yeah, that's what I love about the work that we are all doing is that we are laying out a very simple pathway, a simple framework for reframing the consciousness that has been so distorted by the external world, bringing it back in to source, to our own internal authority, so that we can start to remember who we really are, the power that we really have. And we can start listening to our biofield, to that inner guidance that's always leading us back home to source, back into alignment with the truth of who we are. This is the essence of all healing, is coming back into alignment with what is actually true and real.
Yeah.
Thank you both for doing such an amazing job of helping so many people to start to remember their authority or authority, as you
Yeah.
call it.
I'll say this, Lisa, it's literally a tweak of perception can change everything in an instant.
Mhm.
Isn't it amazing?
That's the best part for me is that it's literally that simple that all I have to do is change how I look at things, and the things I look at change by default. My actions, feelings, words, all of it just change with it. And then my results come with a change. Okay.
Change.
That's like the most soul fulfilling thing is when you see that light bulb moment and somebody's like, oh my gosh, like, yes, they get it.
Yeah.
The aha moment. Finally.
Right.
Oh, let's talk further now so we can really get to know how we can help you out, how to make this work for you.
Yeah.
Yes. Then life becomes fun and joyful and peaceful and connected. And it makes sense and it feels good.
And we're all healthy and we're all standing in our own authority and we're all managing our own biofields and not trespassing everybody else's biofield or allowing other people to trespass ours. Life is just really simple.
Imagine how much that's going to impact the quality of well-being for all of nature, meaning humans, animals, plants, the air, the sky, everything, the quality of it all, and the longevity of it all.
Right?
So this short lifespan that we're used to, I don't feel that I'm just, here for 80 years, 100 years, 150 years, anything like that. It's going to far surpass what people think is possible simply by all of us getting our biofields back connected to the right jurisdiction
I
so
mean,
that it can pour into us and nourish us.
just for that little spot, you know how many people refer to scripture for truth? Well, look at the people in the scripture lived to like 900 years old. Like, and we think it's impossible to live to 100.
Yeah.
Like,
Our biology changed. No, it didn't. Our
but
field stability changed.
it's in your
Our belief.
holy Bible. They were 900. Why can't we be that?
Because we didn't know.
Yeah.
We think we're different somehow.
Yeah.
Or that we think that
We're not giants anymore.
that
So
where we are in
that's
time is different from where we were in time back then. That the mechanics of life and how life unfolds is different now than what it was back then. And it's just not. It's the exact same thing now that it was then. We are no different than them. We just have forgotten, like you said. And again, the overlay is there. It's constantly connecting us to the wrong jurisdiction, which is just draining the life out of everything that's here so that it can keep. It's like a business that is running through the numbers and firing and rehiring, firing and rehiring. That's what they're doing to all of us.
Mm,
That's it. That's it.
exhausting.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
So,
that's if we allow it. Sorry.
yeah,
That's if we allow it. That's if we don't take our authority back.
That's
I
right.
know. I want to keep talking forever. I know I don't want it to end.
keep
But
going.
tell people where they can find you and how they can connect with you and how awesome it's going to be when they do.
It's going to be awesome for the ones that are open. It probably won't be awesome for the ones that aren't.
Right.
But you can find us at AERA Arc on any social media. That's AERA ARK. Also info at aeraarc@gmail.com. Or no, it's
No.
info. I just gave you a way wrong address. Info at aeraarc.com.
There you go.
And then what's the other one? aeraarc.com. You'll just find me. If you're aligned with me, it's inevitable. You'll just find me.
We just only have a link tree. I don't have the link. I don't.
Yeah.
It's like
See if you can find
/AERA
it.
Arc or something. Whatever the links are.
All right. And only connect with these guys if you're going to be nice to them, if you're going to take self-responsibility. Right?
Oh, I can tell you now, if anybody comes sideways, I won't deal with it.
Yeah.
Honor and integrity are very big turn-ons for what we talk about.
Yeah.
Yep. They're good for us all. Well, thank you again, you guys. We love you so much, and we really appreciate you. Appreciate all you're doing.
Thank you.
I
We
love
love
you
you
guys
too.
too.
Yeah.
It's
Love
always
you
a
all.
pleasure.
Thank you all for watching today. Check the show notes. All the links will be in there. So until next time, happy
Happy healing. Bye.